Hey everybody, welcome back to Geeks and Freaks and day 5 of our Halloween countdown. Lone Survivor is probably the most obscure game on our list. It's not a AAA title, didn't have any big franchises against it, and it definitely didn't receive the same kind of indie marketing that some other titles have garnered. So here's hoping that a lot of you haven't had a chance to check this one out, because I think you might like it. The game begins with a recommendation, which it calls The Ritual, asking us to ensure that we're in a dark room with no distractions and our headphones up loud. And whilst I'm not the kind of guy to listen to that kind of stuff usually, for this one time I'd recommend it, and I'll explain why in just a second. The game begins with some sort of outbreak. Hints are dropped, but we're not told what's going on straight away. Our doctor's mask and the thing the character says leads us to believe that some sort of virus has been spread, so we get ready for what we assume is a standard zombie survival game. The game starts out slow, with our character waking up and decide that we need to finally leave our apartment. After months of stowing away, we're out of supplies and we won't survive if we don't get some more. This is where the main gameplay comes in, with survival being the main goal as you piece together what's happening in the world around you. As the player, you'll have to make sure you've collected enough food, water, medical supplies, that you get enough sleep, the works. In addition to this, the game also focuses on the ever popular survival horror aspect of stealth, with weapons being limited and players relying on their use of shadows and distractions to sneak past most enemies. Narratively, the game starts as a core survival horror. The effects of the outbreak are apparent in our every step, from the abandoned surroundings to the demented virus-ridden creatures stalking the halls. But sporadically the game will jump boat and go for a surreal narrative, with your character seeing mystical creatures and having what we can only assume are hallucinations of the world since gone. We're not sure if there's something strange going on, or if the character is just going insane. In line with this, the world is rich in Silent Hill-esque aesthetics and atmosphere, translating the macabre and downright scary world of those games into a traditional pixel art style, with off-key lighting, grotesque holes that appear to be portals to hellish landscapes, right down to the off-putting sound design. Speaking of which, the sound design in this game is perhaps more important to the horror than the visuals and narrative combined, and that's why having your headphones up loud is so important. From the cracking mumblings to the Toby Hooper-esque vibes of the soundtrack, to the grotesque warbling of the creatures you're avoiding, if there's one thing this game gets right, it's the use of sound to make you feel uncomfortable. The version you're seeing here is from the PlayStation 3, and whilst it plays fine, if you get a chance, and if you're one of the 4 other people that picked one up, I'd recommend playing this on a smaller screen like the PlayStation Vita. The sprites are less stretched, so the smaller view means you can't make out as much detail in either the characters or the surroundings, which makes the game even more creepy. Combining this with the fact you can plug in your headphones and play the game from the comfort of your own bed, with just the light from the screen illuminating your face, make that, in my opinion, the best way to experience this truly spooky game.